And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Rogue Actions on this fine Monday. Wait, it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. Happy Veterans Day to all those veterans out there and active serving, of course, but mainly the veterans because, that's what Veterans Day is actually all about. Salute. Shawka, how was your weekend?
It was pretty nice. So for those of you that don't know, I was away for a long hunting weekend. The weather was kind of warm, so that's not great. But the deer were fairly active. Unfortunately, I did not have anything that I could shoot. Saw 2 doe, but they weren't close enough for a shot. And I had a young buck come right up against me, like real close, 10 yards away, but he wasn't legal. But I got out in the woods and saw some animals and got away from a bunch of children. And that meant the best, all that I could ask for.
So the young buck was under 18?
Yes. Considering deer usually don't make it past like 7 years. Yes, definitely under 18.
I mean, you said he wasn't legal, so, I just wanted to make sure.
Correct. He was not legal. Yes. Yeah, he was. For those of you guys that know anything about deer, I guess he was a 4-point. It was really, really late. It was at like 10 minutes before legal end of hunting time. So it was really tough to tell if he had just 2 or 4, but he definitely was not legal. He was a real little guy. So let him live another day, get bigger.
Oh man, yeah, I haven't been deer hunting in a long time, and even then, I've never killed anything.
I'm not necessarily a successful hunter. I just like getting in the woods and being away from people. So that's why I said it's successful for me, no matter what, whether I get an animal or not. So,
I mean, I should go deer hunting. The amount of deer that I find on my evening drives is insane out here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they know when it's dark. They don't come out till after it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time,
and then they just stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Deer in headlights.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Hope you guys had a great weekend. We got a lot to talk about for SWGOH. Obviously, there's a good chunk that has come out this past week, and then obviously we've got some big news coming up for holidays, anniversaries, all that stuff. So let's jump right on into it. Starting off with, of course, the meme of the week. Shawka, go ahead and read this one. We need your impression.
Oh man, I gotta do a Vader voice.
Mm-hmm.
I was not prepared for this, guys.
Your teacher took your phone. Mine took my legs.
So awful. That is so awful.
I couldn't tell if my microphone was picking me up or not.
Oh, it was picking you up.
Was it? Okay, I sounded very quiet.
Yeah, that's just your bad impression.
Okay.
James Earl Jones is turning in his grave right now.
I don't blame him. Yeah, a lot of people would probably turn in the grave if they heard me trying to make their impersonations.
Guys, we saw this in our Discord. Shout out to Bat Dad again, a winner for probably the 4th week in a row now. So shout out to you, Bat Dad. If you guys are interested in submitting your memes and having myself and Shawka review it every week before Rogue Actions recording, that's what we do. Just go into a Discord and put in a meme, and then we'll pick from it. So this one obviously stuck out because Shawka's a teacher, and so he was like, "Oh, I know which one's winning." I'm like,
Yeah, and this one hit the head today. If you're a parent, sorry, I'm about to blow your mind right now, but kids can be jerks, guys. They can be absolute jerks. They were jerks today too. I wanted to channel my inner Vader today, be like, I said both of you stop talking. I'm gonna take your mouth and your lips if you keep it up. Blah, blah. Like I just wanted to go full Vader and be like, wow. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Of course, I couldn't do that. I was like, please stop talking. Please stop talking.
Kids are buttholes.
Please stop talking. Like, yeah, for the 5th time. Yeah.
Yeah, what age group are you? You're like 8-year-olds?
So I teach K to 5. So like in terms of age range, it's anywhere from 3. We have some 3 in pre-K, up through like 11. Probably is the oldest we have.
Jesus.
So I've taught all grade levels though in my career. I've taught pre-K to 12, so I know them all. I know all the tricks of the trade, guys. Don't try sneaking one over on me.
I'm trying to think of all the dumb stuff I did back in school. Oh God. Yeah. I don't know.
The scary thing is when there's parallels between like what happens in the streaming content creation world and what happens at school. Like, for those of you that don't know, everyone is kind of amazed that I don't know about different bands and stuff. Because when we study music, we study like classical music. So I always say I know stuff from like 1930 and before, and anything after that I don't know because we don't study that. And the kids were like, "Mr. Shawka, do you know who Rod Wave is?" And I was like, "Who?" And they're all just like, "Whoa!" Like, they couldn't believe I didn't know who Rod Wave was, and they were freaking out. I was like, "Oh, wait till you guys think this is bad. Just imagine everyone that thinks that gets mad that I don't know who Queen is and stuff like that too." Like,
oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think like, so obviously technology is easier nowadays and we're getting way off on the rails, but who cares? Because there were never any rails to begin with.
It's supposed to be SWGOH, guys, but
what's SWGOH? I don't know.
John Williams. There we go.
No, so like obviously technology is easier nowadays, but back in the day, I would take like my little iPod shuffle that I had, right, and I would take the little cord and feed it through my long sleeves and sit here in class like this, listen to music, but you didn't know because I had did the teacher actually know that I had headphones? Probably.
Well, so first of all, different era. So like I didn't have an iPod shuffle growing up. Like we had CDs and cassette tapes. Yeah. So like we didn't have the little ones that stick in your ear. So like you couldn't get away with that. And two, so I assume you were in high school when this was going on, that you were doing that?
Yeah.
So guys, I hate to break it to you, but if you're not causing a problem in high school, they don't give a flying. Wait, wrong button. A flying. As long as you don't disturb the class, they don't care. Now, if you're at the elementary level and you've got a headphone, and I'm gonna be able to tell, and I'm gonna say something. But yeah, they probably did know RAM, but they probably just chose to ignore it. It's not something that disrupts the class.
I thought I was being very sneaky.
No, we see pretty much everything, but we usually just choose to ignore stuff that's not an immediate disruption to the rest of the class.
I want to get an F. Just let me get an F.
But yeah, that's the approach of a lot of people. That's my approach. You get what you earn.
Yep.
You sit there and listen to Queen all day long on your iPod shuffle, then you're probably going to get an F. In math class, at least.
That would explain why I failed 2 years of math.
Sweens would fail you. Sweens would absolutely fail you.
Well, I didn't learn from Sweens, thankfully so, because, God, I heard that guy cannot teach math worth crap.
2 + 2 = fish.
Yes. We are off the rails. Let's get back onto the rails, ladies and gentlemen, with what we actually have on today's topic, called the 9th anniversary of SWGOH. God, 9 years. 9 years of SWGOH.
It's been a long time.
That is insane to me to think that for the most part, for a large majority of us, well, maybe not a large majority, but for a good portion of people, we have logged in and done something in the game every single day for 9 years. And I'm actually curious to see how many people there are left of that. I was at that point up until my hiatus. I was at that point every day that since I had joined, I had played of some portion. Maybe done tickets, maybe played a game mode, something. I had done something. And then obviously a few months ago, that streak broke. But, God.
How many people do you think have a longer and more complete, notice I didn't say fulfilling, but a longer and more complete relationship with SWGOH than they do a significant other?
I'd hazard to say there's a lot of people that probably still live in certain people's basements. or lack any sort of physical relationship.
You're taking the over on this one.
I'm going to take the over, and I think our Master of Memes will probably speak a little bit more to where I'm thinking those people are.
I like that.
They're probably more along those lines.
Little foreshadowing.
Little foreshadowing there.
Yes.
So guys, with the 9th anniversary, obviously there's a lot of free stuff that they do every single year. They give a lot away for the players. But 9 years, I mean that's one short of a decade. Wow, I can count. Crazy. That is an insane amount of things. So today, what I really want to cover, because there's data mines of everything. Nothing has been officially released yet. It's all just data mines. But what I do want to cover is some of the data mines coming out for the 9th anniversary. In here, there's a screenshot of this, obviously, from SWGOH events, so shout out to those guys. Card 1, so you get a chance for three cards, or it contains 3 cards, and it's, I think, a daily? Yeah, it's a daily thing, 1 per day. So you get 5 shards of Plo Koon, Captain Enoch, Death Trooper Peridea, Night Trooper, or Commander Ahsoka Tano. Now, freeze on that for a second. Why are those 5 characters important? 4 of those right now, if you go back to the Commander or the GL Ahsoka Tano Rex, 4 of those are requirements currently. Plo Koon being the only outstanding one, and I've said it probably at least twice now on Rogue Actions. I think Plo is going to be a requirement of some sort for GL Ahsoka, and I feel like this strongly makes that case for me. Shawka, what are your thoughts?
One of these things is not like the other. Yeah. I feel like I've heard that somewhere before, but I can't place where or why. Maybe it's just in my head and it's a Monday and I'm losing it. But I think
you had it?
Huh?
You had it?
My brain? No. This
is what happens when we record on a Monday after school. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys want to see what it's like to be a teacher after the day is done? This is it. Look at the difference between me now versus normal.
We normally record on a Saturday, guys. Just to let you know, just for a reference, we normally record on a Saturday. This is Shawka after a Monday of classroom teaching.
And not having any drinks to satiate me. Anyway, yeah, no, I think Plo is absolutely a requirement at this stage. I think the debate was between whether it would be, Kenobi, General Kenobi, or Plo, because I think most people figured there would be a tank requirement of some kind from the Clone Wars era, and it was kind of between the two of them. Mm-hmm. It was whether we want it to be more of the, the Clone Wars influence or more of her like first starting in the Jedi Council type thing influence. And I think it's definitely going to be Plo, which I think makes sense in terms of if you're looking for characters to bring up in relic levels. Most people are going to have General Kenobi at relic 8 already because of Rex, so at most you're getting a relic 9 requirement for him versus Plo. Most people, if they spend some money, are going to have them an R5. Bringing up to R8, I would say for this. I don't think they'll make them an R9 rec. I think that's too much. That's a bridge too far. I can see R8 though, and most of the late game players that invested in him for ships are going to be sitting pretty because they already have him at R8.
Yep.
So I think that's one that makes sense. I think it's one that is relatively player friendly because people have already invested in that, and it's not a terrible character to invest in for everybody. So I think it just makes sense. I am a-okay with Plo Koon being a rec, especially if it's like R7, R8. If it's R9, I'm not going to be happy about it. Just to be clear, I don't want R9. That's too much. R9s are done. 3 is plenty. No more R9s, please. So anyway,
right.
But yeah, I think this I think card all but confirms that Plo is going to be one of them. So.
Yeah, and I think it just makes sense given his history with Ahsoka. You can't have a whole bunch of characters required to unlock Ahsoka without the cause of Ahsoka being in the Jedi Order in the first place. I just don't feel that makes sense.
Yeah.
The other 2 cards, nothing crazy there. You know, you've got some stun gun, Carbonti, stun cuffs, Kairos. You've got those. Or no, those aren't Kairos. No, those aren't Kairos. Well, that's lame. They should have been Kairos.
I actually feel like the
could have just given us Kairos, but okay.
Stuff, the abilities and things. I think this year's stuff is not very good, to be honest with you. Unless there's stuff that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Based on these data mines, I am not impressed with it.
Well, the one thing I will say that we're definitely missing is, as far as I haven't seen, the typical pack that they do, where they give out everybody in everybody's inbox, and you get a whole bunch of stun guns, stun cuffs, Kairos, Omicron, Zetas, or whatever, and then you get 3 Clone Wars Chewie shards. Like, you know, those things. I haven't seen that data mine come out yet, unless I missed it.
I don't think we're gonna get it, because I think that's what this, in combination with some other things, are.
Really?
This is a lot of your carbon. You're getting your commodities here, your stun guns, things like that in card 2. You're getting some character shards in card 1. You're getting ability materials in card 3. There is a calendar that you're getting that has the Clone Wars Chewie shards in it. I think they've just sparsed that one single package out into multiple packages, but the thing that is missing at this point is Zetas and Omicrons. There are like 0 Zetas, whereas in the past we've gotten like a full Zeta.
No. There's one Zeta. All right, there's one Zeta.
One Zeta.
One Zeta Matt. One Zeta Matt in the web store bonus calendar. Okay. God damn it. Give CG their props. They gave us one Zeta Matt.
Sorry, CG. Yeah, like unless there's like, well, even then we've gotten double drops too. I feel like double drops plus the gift.
Oh, and they're even giving us Clone Wars Chewie shards.
That's what I mean. Like,
in the bonus calendar,
giving us they're not giving us Zetas or Omicrons, which I kind of understand, because I think they've made a shift, and this was something that I actually requested or preferred that they would do something like this. So I kind of have to eat my words now. I felt like SWGOH was all about gear before and getting gear level, and I would rather it be about getting the character and getting their abilities, because that's the character as opposed to just a random ass piece of gear. And I feel like SWGOH has shifted that a lot. Obviously, there's still gear requirements, relic requirements, and things like that. But I feel like the real crunch right now is for end game players, especially. It's for the Zetas and the Omicrons.
Yeah.
Like, that's where people are really feeling the hurt. If anybody's getting Lightspeed bundles, that's where you feel the hurt at. So, like, them not giving us that stuff, I guess, kind of makes sense, because I think that is the new bottleneck.
Yeah.
Not so much like Cairo and Carbontes and things like that, like it used to be.
Is it sad that I'm sitting at, I think, like 100 Amis right now?
That's a lot. I think I have 80 at the moment, but there's a reason.
I mean, I've been storing 2 or 3 for Ezra, right? Which I'm not going to apply right now. Anyways, we'll get into that in a second. Anyways, but I've been applying, or I've been saving those, and then I've been saving the other ones for Balin. Which, again, whenever I get him, I want to be able to make sure I get those. So that's part of the reason I have a lot. So it sounds like a lot, but it's going to be literally gone within minutes of me unlocking certain characters. So it's really not that many. And then Zetas, I think I just used 2 on Ezra, but for the most part, I think I have like almost 200 Zeta mats. So, you know, we're getting there. So the last thing I want to bring up on this anniversary stuff, and it's not directly associated with the anniversary, but I think it comes out around the same time, is this community pack. Now, a couple weeks ago, couple Rogue Actions ago or so, they put out a poll and they said, hey, we want to know what you guys would give or take from this pack, and the other 5 will be increased based on the one that you take away. And the options were Cantina Energy, Yellow Energy, Zetas, Droid Brains, Crystals, and Omicrons. And assuming what I'm reading from this data mine, the Yellow Energy is the one that lost, because they took out the Yellow Energy and they increased all the other ones from the previous amounts. So this next pack, which again is going to be $15 for everybody, $14.24 looks like on the web store, so you get your 5% discount. 350 Cantina Energy, 6 Zetas, 5 Amis, 330 crystals, and 3 Droid Brains. I feel like that's a win. I don't know about you, Shawka, but I feel like that's a really good pack, and I'm going to stash that up.
I think they made the right decision in terms of what they got rid of and what they increased, without a doubt. I know we talked about this in one of the Rogue Actions episodes, and I feel like, I think for me, I used to get rid of the Droid Brains, but that was because I had I still have a ton of Droid Brains. But I think that
I think you said crystals.
Oh yeah, we did say kind of crystals. Crystals again is the thing you can always get elsewhere. Like, so I'm mixed on that. But I think the regular energy is not a terrible thing to get rid of either in this scenario. Overall, I think this is a really good value compared to a lot of the things that we have in the game. My only complaint would be, and I don't know how to say this without ending up with like the wrong thing, but I feel like there should be more Zetas compared to Omicrons. So I like the 5 Omicron number. I think that's a great number for this. I would rather see the Zetas be at like 8, maybe 10. 10 might be pushing it, but I just would like to see the Zetas be there'd be a little bit more Zetas than there are Omicrons. There's only 1 difference between the two.
Maybe like 10.
Yeah, if it was 10 Zeta mats and 5 Omicron, I literally would buy this every time I had a chance, to be honest with you, because it's that good of a deal. And again, with people getting Lightspeed bundles, and I think CG's being smart with this too, to be honest with you. If people getting our Lightspeed bundles, the crunch becomes these ability mats. Yep. And people are going to jump all over this to buy this. I think if they had done 10 Zetas, I think you'd get everybody buying this. Again, that's the difference. I think, because I hate to give this idea to them, but I think you could have even made it 10 Zeta mats and made the price $20, and I think people still would have gone crazy for it. Like
100%.
100%. It's a pretty good deal by CG standards.
For me, the big winning items in here, obviously they're all big winners for me, and like I said, I'm gonna buy this for sure because this is a really good deal for me. The Droid Brains, would I like to see 5? Absolutely, but I'll take Droid Brains because that's, as someone who does not do TW, I am always looking for new ways to get Droid Brains because
that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't do TW because I hate that game mode. Amis and Zetas, you hit a very good point. I think they could have increased the amount of Zetas for sure. I'm not going to complain about 6 Zetas, but 10 Zetas would have been, I think, a little bit better. 5 Amis is a great amount. 330 crystals, that's chump change. It's whatever. I would have preferred maybe 500. But the real winner for me, I think, is the Cantina Energy. Great Mothers just dropped. Morgan Elsbeth dropped not too long ago. I already have Morgan at I think Relic 6, almost Relic 7. But Great Mothers, they're on Cantina. And 350 Cantina Energy is equivalent to what I think 100. It's what, a couple hundred crystals right there saved. So
it's about 3 refreshes.
120, 240, 360. Yeah. 360, okay, so 300 crystals saved, roughly. That's a huge winner right there.
I don't feel like that's that great. For me, it's the Zetas and the Omicrons. That, like,
sure.
You can get energy elsewhere. You can get crystals elsewhere. The Droid Brain, the Droid Brains, I agree. No, now you brought up a good point with the TW. That's something that can be tough to get. So I think the Zetas, the Omicrons, and the Droid Brains are the absolute winners in this scenario. Yeah. The crystals and the energy, I guess, are just an added bonus.
Sure.
I'm not mad about that energy being there, but I don't think that's necessarily a great deal per se.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, instead of spending 600 crystals, I'm going to spend 300 and get the same amount of refreshes for Great Mothers.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it was yellow energy like that, I'd be disappointed. Right? But because it's red energy and it's harder to get.
If it was yellow instead of Cantina, yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think they made a good call. They could have, like you said, probably taken out crystals as well, because there's always other ways to get that. And then providing yellow energy would have given me easy 600 tickets that day. Wouldn't have to worry about refreshes.
Like, for instance, if they made it 10 Zetas, 5 Omicrons, 5 Droid Brains, let's say 500 of the Cantina energy, and they got rid of those crystals, I'd still jump on that.
Yeah.
Like the 300 crystals isn't going to make a difference for me. But you bump up those Zetas and the Droid Brains, and you give me a little bit more of that Cantina energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby.
I like it. I think it's a good pack. I'm curious to see if they do anything else like this in the future. I think that's where their winners are going to be. I don't know if this was Meathead that designed this idea or whatever, but whoever designed this, props to you, because this was a good thing, getting players' viewpoints on what we actually want in a pack, rather than you just selling some stuff to us and saying, hey, this is what we're offering. You can buy it or not buy it. Give us something that we actually want.
If we're talking about buying things, sorry, this is totally whale chat moment, guys, but the Ascension things that they've had out recently have been really nice too, because you can kind of dictate how much you want to spend. I love that element of it. If somebody's only willing to spend, $2 or $3 at a time, fine, they can get some stuff for $2 or $3. If they're willing to spend $10 at a time, fine, they can go up to the $10 level. If they want to go, if they want Zetas and Omicrons, which I did, and you can go all the way up to $40. Like, I love that they have that now as a thing where you can kind of spend what is comfortable to you. And in my opinion, they've been pretty good values overall, especially the ability ones. The ability ones have been a very good value.
Well, and they don't lock them down either. Like, so
right.
They give you good enough rewards in those Ascension ones, bringing up the Ascension packs. The recent one that happened with I think it was like, what was it, 7 Omicrons for free, and then the next tier was like, what was it, 12 Amis or something like that.
I think it was 15. It
15,
was a lot.
Yeah, right. And that one you had to buy like 20. I think it was like $20, right? 19.99 or something like that. But the fact that you
for all of it,
right, but the fact that you could go up to that point and get, without spending the 20, you're not going to get the 15 Amis, but you still get 7 free Amis.
Yeah.
Just because you spent up until that point, what, $8, $9, something like that. That's a huge winner for me. I think those Ascension bundles are also really good. So I like, if we have to take into the mindset that yes, this is a mobile game, and mobile games will make you pay. It is monetary. That's how that's their moneymaker. That's how they stay alive, right? And so without the whales, without the people that spend, this game shuts down. But there's ways to do it where it still benefits the player base versus just being money hungry. And that's what we've seen in the past is CG is just money hungry. Hey, we're going to shove this all down your throat. And if you buy it, great. If you don't, figure it out. Whereas now it feels like, yes, you're still asking us for a lot of money, but I'm getting something out of it that I can actually use. I don't know.
I think they're starting to realize that if you have the majority of your player base spend $10, that's going to be a lot more money than if you only have like 20 people spending $1,000. Like, they can make a lot more money if they make things more accessible to the general player base.
Microtransactions.
Right. Microtransactions.
Micro. I'm sure the keyword. Sweens knows all about micro.
I'm sure, like, back when the Basti pack used to be $10, the Basti LaShawn pack. That's the last one that I got up until Ahsoka here. And it was only $10. I'm sure a lot more people bought those packs back then than they do now, because they're now $30. Like, that's like, people aren't going to drop that kind of money in one go, man. Like, they're just not outside of the massive whales. Yeah. But again, a lot of those massive whales have been quitting. I think CG has realized they have to shift their monetary approach. They have to. Absolutely. And I think it's better for the game, quite frankly. Absolutely.
I mean, because after this, like I said, we're going to be approaching 10 years. They have to adapt, or like everything else, you will die.
Adapt and overcome, right?
Exactly. Adapt and overcome. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the anniversary packs, the bundles, all that stuff, the community trove community choice, I think is what they're calling it. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about it. Or is this something you're gonna buy into? Is this something you're looking forward to, or do you just not care? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. All right, next thing. So Ezra finally dropped in the game as of Conquest. Like, everybody has officially started to unlock him at this point. I unlocked him today, and we've already discussed where we think we'll use him until we get Ahsoka, because obviously he's going to be locked down with Ahsoka once she comes out. But like everybody else, I took him up and leveled his abilities, and then I had the hard decision of what Zetas or Omicrons, if any, do I apply given his kit and how heavily it is relied on for Spectre and GL Ahsoka. And I figured we could sit here and kind of talk about that. So the basic, that's just a Omega, easy to level up. The first Ami that you're going to run into, we'll kind of break this down layer by layer. The first Ami that you're going to run into is his first special, Kanan's Legacy. The Ami is Ezra gains 25 stacks of Purgo Migration, and all Spectres gain backup plan for 2 turns, which can't be copied or dispelled. Right here, I think that's an Ami that I don't apply until I get GL Ahsoka. What are your thoughts?
I'm totally with you. So, I mean, obviously, there's 2 parts of this. There's the he gains 25 stats of Purgo Migration, and then there's the Spectre allies gain backup plan for 2 turns. Until you have Ahsoka, the second half of this is just not going to be used. Most people, like, so for instance, let's say that you have Sabine, you have Ezra. Where are you putting them at? Right now, you're probably putting them on different teams. Sabine might go onto a Mandalorian team at this point. Ezra, I'm guessing, is either going to go with Jedi, or like I'm going to probably put him with a Rey team. Like, they're probably not going to be on the same team together.
Yeah.
Even with the other characters that are getting this tag with Chopper and Fulcrum, they're not going to be on those 2 teams. So the chances of Ezra being with another Spectre ally is pretty much zilch until Ahsoka comes into the game. So that whole half of the ability, useless. Okay. The Purgo Migration, so yes, he gains 25 stacks, and that is technically usable. That's something that you can benefit from, but that's basically 25% defense and 25% tenacity. That, in my opinion, that's what you're getting from him right now, is absolutely not worth an Omicron.
Right.
When you have Ahsoka, maybe. And even then, that's probably the last one I'm putting on, to be honest with you. But without Ahsoka, absolutely not.
Well, and we'll have to see how Ahsoka's abilities tie into it, right? Obviously, we don't know about her kid, but looking at this, right, so he gains the Purgo Migration. Yes, it's 1% defense and 1% tenacity. And then when he gains 50, so you're already starting off halfway. When he gains 50, he gains bonus turn and recovers 100% max health and protection. The rest of that is pretty useless, right? The next enemy he damages with abilities inflicted with exile, sure. Which, I mean, I'm not saying exile is bad, but there's going to be, I think we all presume, based on how his kit reads, there's a way for Ahsoka to have him transmit exile onto an ally and not just an enemy. So yeah, the Purgo Migration, you'll get some use out of it, but 20 Amis, I don't know if that's not something I can really back up right now.
Yeah.
So the next one is Daring Advance. That's his second special. And let's break down the upgrades here. So Zeta, if Ezra scored three critical hits, target enemy is stunned for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. That damage multipliers by 1.4. Because it's an ability, if you're gonna have him at relics, I think that's you'll get some use out of that, because it's still damage and you're still gonna stun them. And it can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. That's huge, right? It's a irresistible stun. They get stunned. Doesn't matter if they have nasty up, they get stunned. I think that's worth the Zeta. The Ami, if you're gonna apply any Ami right now, we'll get into his third Ami, but if you're going to apply any Ami right now, I feel like this is the most beneficial one. Obviously increasing the damage multiplier, but for Grand Arenas, for each critical hit scored, deal 20% damage based on target's match health, which can't be evaded, and inflict buff immunity, healing immunity, and offense down for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted, and then reduce the cooldown of Daring Advance, which is the this ability right here, reduce it by 1.
Yeah.
So that right there, I feel like is worth an Ami. Definitely worth the Zeta. If you're going to apply an Ami at all for a character prior to having GL Soga, that's the Ami you apply right here.
Yep. Totally agree. Yeah, this is one that I'm doing the Zeta and I'm doing the Omicron on right now before lock, so that he's, you know, functional with somebody at this point, whether it's Ray, another Jedi team, whatever. That one will work no matter. Oh my God, I can't talk. That one will not. That one will work no matter what team he is with. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's Monday.
It is Monday. Jesus. His third. So then we go into the uniques, and we're not going to talk about Forces My Ally because that's a. I mean, well, no, we can talk about this one. We'll get into that one. I'm skipping ahead. All right. So Exile. The Zetas. So the Zeta ability is ally specters have instant defeat immunity while Ezra is active. The first time Ezra is exiled, enemies can't assist or attack again if their attack is targeting Ezra. Additionally, when Ezra loses exile the first time, when he performs ability, call a random ally to assist. So, two-parter here. Number one, ally specters have instant defeat immunity. You're not going to benefit from that right now with his Zeta. So that's null and void right now. First time Ezra is exiled, he starts the battle exiled. So, enemies are not going to be able to attack or assist if their attack is targeting him. So that's right there, immediate benefits right there from the Zeta. And then when he loses exile, if you hit the Purgle migration type thing and he tosses exile onto someone else, when he performs an ability, he's going to call a random ally. It's not just a random specter, it's a random ally. So anybody can get called to assist. So I feel like that Zeta is not a terrible Zeta to apply if you're going to apply Zeta. And then the Grand Arena Ami. The first time a Spectre ally gains and loses exile, they also gain 5% mastery per relic level on them. First time a Spectre ally loses exile, they gain an additional 30 speed. That is completely useless right now because it has there is no Spectre ally outside of Sabine Wren, which we'll get into talk about, and Ezra. Those are the only two Spectre allies, right?
Yep. Well, yes.
That you're going to run these characters with. You're not going to run them with Hera and Chopper right now, right? Because they're
Hera's not going to have the tag, as far as we know at the moment.
Didn't they say that they were giving them that tag?
Chopper and Fulcrum, unless something happened this weekend that I missed.
Oh, maybe I misread it. But anyways, you're not going to run Ezra with Fulcrum really, outside of maybe a Seer team that you could do, and you're definitely not going to run him with Chopper right now. So.
He's not a Nufu, so it doesn't make sense to have him there.
Right.
Sabine is a Nufu, but again, you're not going to put Ezra on that team because he's not a Nufu. That's what I said. Like he's not going to go with Chopper. He's not going to go with Fulcrum. He's not going to go with Sabine.
Yeah.
Like there's just no, until Ahsoka comes around, there is no reason to have any of those 4 characters together at the same time.
Yeah. So
especially even Sabine and Chopper, because Sabine doesn't have the Phoenix tag.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that Ami's not worth it until GL Ahsoka comes out. Then we'll see how her kit works. And
yeah, the Zeta I would probably consider, just because I mean you figure it's almost like a Darth Revan Zeta, and we put that Zeta on without thinking twice. So I think that Zeta is worthwhile for now. It's not obviously reaching its full potential, but if you've got the Zetas in the bank, I think it's worth putting it on there. If you're hurting for Zetas, maybe hold off on that one.
Yeah.
Certainly think that Daring Advance is better than this one, though, personally.
Absolutely. And then the last ability that he has is the Purgle Migration one. Once he gets those 50 stacks, like we said, the Zeta is the next ability that he uses. The enemy is exiled for the rest of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. All enemies are inflicted with ability block for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted, and Ezra loses exile. Not a horrible Zeta. not the most amazing Zeta for now. In order of Zetas, because he has 3 Zetas, I would go probably the Daring Advance Zeta right now, number 1. Then I'd go Forces My Ally number 2, and then I would go Exile as number 3 for Zeta priority. Amis, like we said, Daring Advance number 1 for sure. And then it's a toss up between the other 2 Amis. Pick and choose, because
the other 2, I'd wait on the other 2.
They don't apply right now. Come back after GL Ahsoka's out, then we can discuss how those Zetas or those Amis are priority.
Yep.
So.
Yep, totally with you on that one, man. Yeah, I think the Zetas are okay to put on. Some of them are definitely good to put on. The Omicrons, though, outside of Daring Advance, I would wait. So it should still be fun to see what he can do.
Absolutely.
Even in a non-Ahsoka team, I think he's still going to do some funky things. I'm like I said, I'm going to take him to Relic 5. I'm going to put some of the Zetas on and put the Omicron on one of his abilities and put him with Rey and laugh at my opponents as they don't know what to do.
It'll be fun.
Indeed.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Rogue Actions. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I can't talk today. It's Monday. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff down in the comments. Or, God, what am I saying? It's Shawka, you're rubbing off on me. Your horrible teaching skills. Anyways, link in the description below. We're going to go continue this topic over on Shawka's channel. Make sure to follow him over there. We got to talk about Sabine and why she's sad. I'm still confused as to why she's sad. And then more Ahsoka Rex. And then an epic Master of Memes. So we'll see you over there. Until next time, happy Veterans Day. ID Squadron dismissed.
Yeah, thanks.